Hi everybody, this is Stephen Pugh of the Home Bible College. I want to do another installment in my series on the life of Paul, and this is video number 17, and it's on the subject of tent making. Now, on the plains at harvest time could be seen the black tents cuddled together in groups at harvest time, where the whole population of the cities by law would be compelled to join in with the very hard work of bringing in the harvest. And in fact, this tradition carried on all the way down the centuries, even till the last century. Okay, so it's only in the recent 100 years that this tradition has been put aside. This meant that whole tracts of countryside were reminded of their nomadic roots. And these tents were very much needed, and they were a huge trade, and Paul was and almost certainly his family were of this trade of tent making. Now, this trade was seasonal, and so therefore we understand why Paul later says that he knew hunger and plenty, riches and poverty. Paul would have wandered about the pastures and countryside of Cilicia, and he would have spent many days sitting listening to the tales of the sailors at the docks of Tarsus. It's not unlikely that he would have travelled by sea, and that might be the reason why he appears to be so much informed about the sea and of the danger of storms, which come out of the narrative on his journey to Rome. In those days, the general population were exceptionally healthy. This was probably due to the rural countryside living and the high mineral content of the water sources and the complete lack of the refined foods of today's modern living. It's not inconceivable that Paul journeyed as far as Spain or even to Britain. Tin and copper was such a valuable commodity because it was a necessary part of the production of bronze. Tin was found in Cornwall, and huge copper deposits were found in the very earliest times under the Great Orme at Llandudno in Wales. Did Paul travel as far as Great Britain? It's not unlikely at all, though there is no specific evidence that he ever did. Did Paul wander the streets of Spain as a boy? We will never know, but how interesting it would be if that were true. And this would add considerable colour to Paul's ambition to bring his gospel to this distant shore. As a young boy, he almost certainly worked in his father's trade, and this would bring a standard of honour by being able to bring valuable income into the house, and it would lay a foundation of strong constitution and bring strength to his hands and cunning to his eye. As a boy, it's almost certain that his main education would come from his mother, and that apart from his later Jewish education in the elementary class in the synagogue, he would have probably been sent also to the Greek schools to fill out his outlook. His Jewish education was based on the old traditional style of question and answer, such as Christ was having in the Temple of Jerusalem when his parents lost him for 3 days. The Jewish education system began at 5. The children began with scripture, reading, recitation, memorization. At 10, the Mishnah in Jerusalem. At 13, the subjects of Jewish law, systematic Jewish theology. Wow, what a great man he was going to become. He had this root in the scriptures from his mother, and he had in the early days at 5, he would learn to memorize and to quote and to read. Nearly all of Israel were by and large literate, and they praised the literacy, and they were experts in language, and they were experts in wordplay, and this comes out. And so the New Testament then is rooted in people that were highly educated. They were highly educated in Greek culture. They were exceptionally well educated in Jewish culture. In fact, the New Testament is a Greek book written in a Jewish mind frame. Now then, that gives us something to think about, and it all comes from the education that the Jewish people had, which began on their mother's knee. Well, we look forward to speaking to you on our next episode, and we wish you every blessing. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.